Hey everybody, I'm Morty.
And I'm Brian.
And on today's episode of Connecting Through Wrestling, we have NWA wrestler, the Dane event, Jax Dane. Jax, how are you doing today?
Fantastic, fellas. Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate you getting on leading up to the NWA event over in St. Louis, Missouri coming up. August 26th, 27th, I believe, or 27th, 28th. That whole weekend there, we're going to it'll be a time. That's a check.
Mm-hmm. So, we start off every interview with the same question, and it can be the most simple or the most long-winded or whatever type answer you want to give.
Okay.
What got you into professional wrestling?
Oh man, I mean, I think I've been asked this question 1,000 times, and you're right. It can be simple or long-winded, so I'll keep it kind of short. Basically, man, like everybody that grew up in the 80s and 90s, I was a huge fan of professional wrestling. Nikita Koloff, Ric Flair, the Road Warriors, Hulk Hogan, Randy Savage, all those guys that were larger than life. As a child, I was a huge fan. So just as time went by, I started getting more and more interested in it. And then I went to college and played basketball. And I was fortunate there that my roommate in college, one of my roommates, his father was one of the lead cameramen for the WWE at the time. And he and I had a conversation after a basketball game one day. And he said if I ever wanted an opportunity to speak with the WWE about becoming a professional wrestler, he'd line that up for me. 2 3 months into my postgraduate professional career, I decided that's what I wanted to do. Made the phone call. He put me in touch with Dr. Tom Pritchard. I came up to mechanics. Came up to Indiana, and the old school on Mechanic Street, and then over to the place where they're continuing to run events and train now. And the rest is history, man. I was hooked. You take your first slam, man. There's no looking back.
So you trained up in the Kentuckiana area. Kentuckiana, I can't ever say it. Kentuckiana area. Mm-hmm. There we go. With Rip and all them.
Yeah, man. I mean, Rip Rogers, Nick Dinsmore, those were the two guys early in my career that did most of my training for me. Very, very fortunate to have been trained by both those guys. And, looking back on it, what I didn't realize, because I wasn't an independent wrestler, I had never been trained professionally and didn't even understand at that time what the independent scene was, because I was a basketball player pursuing my basketball. And so looking back, I really got a first-class education. Very fortunate to have started at Ohio Valley Wrestling with Nick Dinsmore, with Rogers, and then progressively into my time with Rob Conway, my partner and my mentor. So, as far as being trained in education and having Rip and Dr. Tom and Dinsmore and Rob Conway, man, I don't think you could have gotten a better start.
Right. And speaking of Rob Conway, what was it, Rob, that you won the NWA World Heavyweight Championship from?
No. Rob had lost the NWA World title to Tenzon, the Violent Bull.
That's right.
And then when Tenzon brought it to the States for his brief tour over here in America, I was the last person he wrestled, and I was able to win it from Tenzon in San Antonio, Texas.
That's right. I remember that now. Yeah, because I was around Rob a lot when he was holding the belt, and I remember when you had the belt, you came up and wrestled in Supreme Wrestling, defended the title against Eric Draven, and scared the living crap out of me. And yeah,
all smoke and mirrors, brother.
But yeah. So you have the big NWA 74 event coming up.
Yes, sir.
So who are you going to beat up on that show?
Whoever gets in my way right now. It looks like the mask guy, Scion, is who I'm scheduled to wrestle. Looking forward to that. I tell you, the real reason I'm looking forward to that is he's a great competitor, man. I mean, he's probably as big and fast and strong and as talented as anybody I've ever wrestled. So I don't take anything away from him, but it is super, super that he's going to have Busted Idol in his corner. I mean, that's shit dreams are made of. Being able to compete with an idol involved in some capacities is a pretty cool deal.
Absolutely, I agree. I think the gimmick right now is that the Mass Scion is Austin Idol's son. Um,
Yes, absolutely. And what you guys need to understand is, if I'm not mistaken, you can fact check me on this, but I believe Austin Idol was the very first NWA National Heavyweight Champion.
wow, I'll have to look
Yeah,
into that for sure.
a lot of layers to this defense, and it's going to mean a lot to me to go into St. Louis as the champ and to leave as the champ.
Absolutely, yeah. Um, the the national belt. That's a cool look about it. Have you seen it? It has looks like the actual United States. And I seen. I was there at Power Trip, and I believe it was you versus Crimson or whatever they were. They're using his real name then, right at that time. And then,
I think you're wrong.
am I wrong? Huh?
The
No.
power trip we filmed.
Oh wait, no. You faced Eric. You faced Eric Jackson and knocked his head off. That was it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, I was
quickest
wrong.
matches I've had, and I think at the next power trip there at Clarksville, where I wrestled Mayweather.
That's right. And then I was at Always Ready as well, and that match was a very impressive match. Yeah. So coming up through the going from OVW and through the independents and getting into the NWA, what would you say was the hardest part about all that?
Well, there's really not been anything very difficult. I mean, there's the NWA obviously went through some ownership and management change time with them before and now, and it's two totally different companies run two totally different ways with two totally different philosophies, and it took me a little bit to get my wheels turning in the current NWA after having such a elevated status in the old NWA. But just like anywhere I go, if given a proper opportunity, I think I can plant my feet and be a formidable talent for any company, any organization out there. So it's not really been anything too difficult. It's just that management styles and expectations and product presentation totally different from where I was before to where I am now. So, I think I'm leaving a pretty good impression at where I'm at now.
Absolutely. Correct me if I'm wrong. The way that Bruce Tharpe ran the NWA compared to the way Billy Corgan does it, Bruce Tharpe kind of ran it as you could, if you met certain guidelines, your company could apply to be in the NWA, and there was like NW because Supreme was NWA Supreme.
Well, yes, but that's the way the NWA had run for quite some time for affiliates out there. Wasn't Bruce Tharpe way. He was trying to continue on the history of the NWA. Billy's got a totally different philosophy in how he goes about the talent that he brings. Obviously, you can tell that Billy Corgan's not afraid to invest in talent and bring in guys and so on and so forth. So that's the main difference is when Bruce was running it, he was trying to manage 20, 25, 30 promotions, and Billy is just really trying to manage one promotion in several different cities. So, and doing a fantastic job.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Yeah, for sure. He's doing a great job. I've told other people that have came on here. The NWA it has absolutely became my favorite wrestling product to watch because, in my opinion, it's professional wrestling. It's not sports entertainment, and I absolutely love that. I'm very old school when it comes to any of that. So do you prefer the nostalgic feel over the otherwise, or do you think you'd thrive in all of it?
I like it all. I would thrive in all of it. For me personally, because of the era I grew up in the I grew up really enjoying. I like where I'm at right now. I think it suits me well. The NWA is a bunch of big, strong dudes and that aren't afraid to be extremely physical and extremely competitive. Uh, I like where I'm at. I like the way Billy's doing things, and NWA is my home. Has been for a while.
Oh yeah. And you've definitely left your mark. And you're a very big individual, very intimidating. Yeah. You sell it well.
Yeah.
We have a good time.
Oh,
And
yeah.
when the lights are on and we're through the curtain, man,
Yeah.
it's a good time.
Um, completely off topic. What's that vest made out of? Is it chinchilla? It looks like a chinchilla vest.
I got a couple, man. I got one that's I think made out of wolf, one made out of chinchilla, another one's just kind of a fake fur type deal. So it's
They're heat magnets, I can tell you that.
So I like them all, and I'll have a new one for 74.
Awesome.
So,
Because
yeah.
absolute heat magnets. I love it. When you come out wearing that.
It's funny, man. That vest is amazing to me, and I don't know if you guys got the memo or not, but the sheets are saying I only wear it because I'm fat now. That I can't wear regular gear. That I have to wear the vest. So I get tickled at that shit. That makes me. So I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, if you're fat, I hate to see what I am. Like,
And it takes all kinds, brother. It takes all kinds.
yeah, I hear that. Well, it's been an awesome discussion so far. Brian, you got anything else for him?
So we kind of ask everybody, what kind of advice would you give to someone who's up and coming or wants to make their mark in wrestling?
Man, the best advice I could give anybody, because there's so many schools out there, there's so many places to train, there's so many places that you can go get somewhat educated in professional wrestling, but the number one piece of advice that I would give people, because there are these guys out there, go get trained by somebody that's made a living wrestling professional. They've made money. They've made a living. They have the connections to help you get to the next level once you earn that opportunity.
Oh yeah.
I think a lot of guys they'll either get trained close to where they live or a buddy of a buddy, and there's a place for that, I guess. But for me, if I was going to invest in a career choice, I'm going to go somewhere where they have made money or trained people that have made money.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's at the end of the day, we're all trying to feed our family. So that's why you get into this business. So why go somewhere and try to learn how to apply your craft from someone, or learn your craft from someone who can't or didn't make money at it? I mean, that's the end goal at the end of the day.
What's the
and there's guys out there that can do that for you.
Oh yeah. So what's the future look like for Jax Dane?
Oh man, we're just gonna keep plugging right along, brother. I mean, we're just gonna keep getting bigger and stronger, and keep working for the NWA, and hopefully, I'll defend this title in St. Louis, and then the winner of that Trevor Murdoch Tyrus match is on my list. I mean, at the end of the day, you want to be NWA World Champion. I mean, right now, personally, I feel like it's harder to win the NWA National title than it is the World title. And that's no disrespect to Trevor Murdoch, but Trevor Murdoch is not me. And I think winning the NWA National title is more difficult right now than winning the NWA World title. But we all want that NWA World title. That's where the payday's at. That's where the history's at and the nostalgia is at. So, having held that title before, having held the national title, or currently holding the national title, the North American, the World Tag Team titles, pretty decorated. A handful of NWA regional titles, from the ones in Tennessee to over in Texas at the time that the NWA was affiliated. So, pretty decorated as a professional wrestler within the NWA. So winning the NWA World title is on the radar, and make no mistake about it, I want the NWA World Television title too. I mean, that NWA World Television title makes me almost like Thanos, man. That's all of the right?
Yeah.
That's all of the TV, the world. So, that's on the list too.
I think you'll get it.
Yeah.
Get it all. Yeah.
I'm sure he's going to achieve that for sure. I mean, yeah, if anybody could do it, it'd be him. I mean, look at him.
We're working hard at it. Thank you.
Awesome.
Where can people find you at? Where can they reach out to you at?
And Twitter is at the Jax Dane. Instagram is Jax_Dane. My Facebook is J Dane Lehman. That's most of my social media, or all of my social media. Really want to personally invite fans out to the Fan Fest. The Fan Fest will be outrageous, man, for this NWA event. I don't know if you guys have seen some of the names that are dropping, but Tommy Rich, Barry Windham, Steamboat. I mean, if you're a wrestling historian and you like the nostalgia stuff, those guys are top notch, right? And then the matches, you've got Trevor versus Tyrus. I see Pope's on the card. I think, did they announce today it's Pope versus Rodney Mack? I mean, my goodness, that's a first class match. Camille will be there. Bram's there. Cardona is on the card as well. So I mean, then you've got the tag team matches for the new tag team title. So there's a lot going on, man.
Yeah.
And I think for a 2.5 day event where you've got the Fan Fest and then both events for the night, it's well worth the money. And we're going to put on an event that everybody within the organization can be proud of.
For sure.
Definitely seems like it's something for everybody.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Well, with that being said, I want to thank you for coming on. We do I appreciate you being on here. And we'd like to talk to you again sometime.
Hey, man, just hit me up. Let me know. I'll be glad to do it.
Fantastic.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a good one.
All right. Bye-bye.
Hey, everybody. It's Morty.
It's Brian.
And thank you for watching today's episode of Developmentally Speaking.
If you could, please click that subscribe button.
And don't forget to punch that bell icon so you can get notified whenever we go live or drop a new video every Monday. Well, thanks for watching, guys. And we'll see you on the next
Developmentally Speaking.